Hi, friends. Hello, the world. How are you all doing? Welcome back to this episode of Complaint Free Life. And today I have actually a very, very special episode to talk about, which is hollow success versus fulfilling success. The concept that I will be explaining to you in a minute. But I want to tell you a story previously so that it all ties together why I'm doing this. So recently I did a reel. By the way, I discovered how amazing to do reels. I don't know, somehow I love it. So I was doing a reel about impressing others. So you may, if you're following me for some time, you probably know that I have this habit or programming, unfortunately, that I feel like I also got it from my biological father of wanting to impress other people and wanting to impress other people so that they say something nice about me or they think I'm great or that I'm successful or whatever it is, right? So, in other words, I tend to want to impress other people at my own cost, meaning that even if I don't want to be that person, I tend to want to impress people more than taking care of what I actually want or who I really want to be. And what I've discovered through my coaching and coaching with other amazing coaches, I've discovered that the reason why I do that is so that I can believe something about myself that I'm not believing currently. So, for instance, if I'm impressing someone to show them how successful I am, then I believe that uh, I'm proud of myself, or I can be proud of myself, or that I'm a good person, or whatever it is, right? So, as long as I don't believe that, then I want to impress other people so I can gather more evidence, so to say, as to how that is true. And then my brain wants to believe it. So I did this reel, and then I saw that thousands of people watching that reel, and I was thinking, my God, I understand that this is not only the problem that I'm struggling with, it's probably the problem that many people are struggling with in any area of work that we can think of. But because I talk and coach humanitarians a lot, I thought that I want to expand this of how this character trait, or not even a character trait, I think it's more like a programming that we might have adopted as children or from parents, that impressing other people is more important than what we're actually feeling inside, or who we're trying to be as a person in reality, right? So one of the ways that it might be showing up in um, in your life, for instance, as a humanitarian, could be that, let's say that you want to transition and you are thinking that the reason why you want to transition is because um, you don't really see the point of all the things that you're doing, or you don't really see the results of what you're doing, or you think that the results that you're creating are costing a lot of energy, a lot of time, a lot of efforts, and in the end, not much to show for it, right? So if you're in in that space and you are thinking that you want to transition, but then if you're anything like me, you might be having these thoughts of, oh my God, but all the people in the village or all the people that I know think of me a very successful person who's saving the world, saving the lives of people, who thinks that I'm the successful person in the community or in the society. And if I quit, or if I resign, if I stop and then I do something else, then I will lose that uh, recognition, right? Or I will lose that acceptance, or I will lose that belonging uh, in some ways. Excuse me. And then what that will unfortunately make us then do is we will continue being in the situation that we don't want to be, we feel like we are really seeing what's going on from inside, but because outside it all looks very great, um, like the society or everyone, the friends, family, everyone thinks how great the work is or how great I'm doing and all the things, then I can't really resign it, or I can't really transition it, or I can't really go somewhere else, or I can't really admit that this is not really what I want to be doing, or this is not really how I imagined my success would be. But because everyone else thinks that, then I must be continuing doing it, right? Or because everyone thinks that it's a great pay, or it's a great stability, or it's a great privileges, great status, or whatever else, because of that, I want to continue doing it, even though deep down I don't really want to. Right? So there could be people like this. I'm not saying everyone is like this. Please don't hear me wrong. And I'm sure there are many people who absolutely love what they're doing and absolutely see the value in what they're doing and how they're making changes. There are so many of those humanitarians as well, and I'm so happy for them, and I admire them. But I'm speaking to these type of people who are saying that inside, what's going on or what's true for me is not really, I'm not really successful, or I'm not really creating the success in the way that I want to. But because on paper, or because in the society it's very successful, it looks very successful, then I need to continue doing it, right? So another analogy that maybe is easier for you to think about is, I think also in some marriages, this is what we do as well. We are like, well, we have all the things, we have all the houses, all the successful jobs, we look great, everyone thinks we're the greatest couple, we have amazing children or whatever else that we have built together. But inside, I don't feel that. I don't feel like I'm happy. I don't feel like I'm fulfilled. I don't feel like this is it, or I don't feel like this is the life I want to lead, right? So, and then we have that halo inside, so to say. So that's what I'm calling it, a hollow success, right? So on the outside, on the paper, everything looks great. Somehow everything is so successful. If we looked at the facts of some sort, but inside we're not feeling it. We're not really acknowledging that success, or we're not really happy and proud of that success. We don't feel like we're creating it. We just feel like we are participating in it, and things are happening, but we're not really, so we don't really feel fulfillment of doing what we do. We don't really feel pride of what we do. We don't really feel the result is really something that we're creating with teams or ourselves. So that is the hollow success that I'm calling. And I think that there are several criteria that pops in my mind when I think of the hollow success. So one criteria is how do we know, right? If we're having that hollow success, one is that we're not really being who we truly want to be. In other words, we're not really expressing or being the person we really want to be. And the other one is we don't feel like we are creating those results in the way that we want to. And therefore, we keep being unfulfilled. We keep feeling like we're not really doing all the things, or we're not doing things in the way we want to, and we don't really see the point of doing it that way, but we keep doing it. So these are the two criteria of recognizing how you might be having this hollow success. Now, to contrast this concept to the fulfilling success is when you know exactly how you're creating your results, or how you're creating this impact, how you're creating this success by being truly who you are and creating the things that you want to in the way you want to, and also creating the external success with it, meaning that other people looking at you also think, yes, she's doing an amazing job, or he's doing an amazing job, and creating those results, or creating those changes, and therefore I can see how she's successful or why she's successful, right? So, in other words, when you're having the fulfilling success, is when whatever you're feeling and thinking inside is also reflected outside, and the inside feeling, inside pride, the fulfillment are matched with outside. And that's when you know that you're creating the success that you want to, you are living the life the way you want to, and you're also not, you're being true to yourself, you're being true to what you're doing, you are in integrity with what you're doing, right? And also that can be seen from outside as well. So that, in other words, there is like nothing to hide, nothing to be ashamed of, or to feel like you're not really doing this is somehow happening, or it's just part of the system or whatever. But you know that why you're doing it, how you're doing it, and you also know the seeds, the results out of it, the plants, the harvest out of it, and then everyone can see that as well at the same level as you're seeing, and then you're like so fulfilled by doing it, by having that success, because that success didn't come at the cost of something else or someone else's suffering. That success came at um, at no cost, but at the joy and loving of your efforts that created that result, that created that result not only for you but for other people you're serving. And then both sides are very satisfied, fulfilled, and you feel like, yeah, this is exactly how I want to be creating the success that I want to create, right? So you can see that when we look at these two types of success, both are from outside are seen as successful, but important is how you see it from inside as well. How you're truly feeling fulfilled by doing that work, by doing that outcome, creating that outcome, and knowing that you have made the difference for someone's life or for your own life. Or you keep just catching up with doing things and activity after activity, but you keep criticizing or you keep saying that you are not really creating the impact you want to, you're not really doing in the way you want to, and you don't really feel like this deserves any success, or this is not really successful. And then you keep that battle internally while uh, shining to the outside world, showing as if everything's under control, everything is great, exactly how. So, in other words, I guess pretending, right? So, you can see the story that I was telling initially as to how my own story of wanting to impress other people sometimes get in the way of experiencing that fulfilling success that I was talking about, because I want to impress other people so much that sometimes they used to be like, well, it doesn't matter what's happening inside. It what matters is how other people see me, right? And then once I realize that that's not how I want to be as a person, that's not how I want to live my life, then I realized that a lot of the things that was going on within me were not really truthful. It did not reflect what others would see, and then I wanted to actually live that truthful life of, if I don't see the point, or if I think that this is not the way I want to be making the change or making the impact, then how do I want to do that? Right. So then, if you came to that conclusion, like I did, for instance, in your situation, then the best steps, the next steps are to look at it as to who do you want to be in your own life, and how do you want to um, live that life in that truthful way that is true to you, right? Whatever the true way is to you. And then how do you make that life very successful according to your own definition of success? So, in my case, my definition of success was not only in terms of fulfilling success, like in the outcome level, but also in the process of it. Meaning, I didn't want to suffer through to get to the result, and then like, oh, finally I got the result. It doesn't matter how I got there; as important as I got there, right? So I didn't want to do that. I wanted to be the person who goes through the process also in the way she wants to, expressing her personality, her being who she is, and then also dedicating her life to doing the work that she wants to, and then going through that process without compromising it, and then going to the result, and then creating that result, and then feeling good and amazing and fulfilled about themselves. Do you know what I'm saying? So, in other words, I ask myself, how do I want to, or who do I want to be the person, right? What's important to me as a person? How do I want to create my impact in the way that I want to and make that successful, not only in terms of monetary goals, but also in terms of how fulfilling it is for me, how I see that it's fulfilling, what are the results I will be seeing, and the processes I will be seeing that's fulfilling, and then start living that as of now. Another way to look at it could be like in my story of impressing others, as I said that um, when I ask myself, what am I trying to achieve by impressing others? Right? The answer is something like, I want to be a good person. I want to be a successful person. I want to look like, or not only look like, but I want to believe about myself being that person who makes those differences. And this is what I want to believe if I'm impressing someone and if I'm getting their validation, so to say, right? So I want to believe these things. Then my job is to believe them already now without impressing the other person. Do you know what I'm saying? So, in other words, if you say that you want to have that fulfilling success and you want to get away from that hollow success, if you decide that's what's happening for you, then in that fulfilling success, who do you want to be as a person, right? What principles, what values, whatever it is that's important to you, or whatever things that define you as a person, how do you want to express that personality in what you do and how you do things? And how do you want to assist others in that way? And then what kind of results you want to be creating through that work, and then that will be for you that fulfilling success where you generate that success, whatever the definition is for you, with your own personality, with your own work, and then that translates into helping others. And then as soon as they get results or they get the benefit of what you're offering or what you're proposing, and as soon as they get the benefits of it and they see the results of it, then they are super excited and happy about you or about your what you're offering, and then also who you are being in that process. And then you start having more and more of that fulfilling success where you are proud of what you've created. You're proud of how you're uh, leading your life, proud of how you are aligning what's inside with the outside perception of things. And that's how I think the happiness shows up. So, my dears, I hope that I was able to explain to you what I meant by that different types of success. And if you're someone who is asking yourself how you want to align whatever the outside success with the inner success, you always know that the feelings that you have now, the fulfillment, the happiness, the pride, whatever the feelings that you have, you are wanting now, you can generate that with your own beliefs, with your own thoughts, and you can generate that even within the situations where you are now, or you can generate it outside in a different circumstances as well. So how you want to do that, and if you want to work on that, creating that fulfilling success for your life, then absolutely you should coach with me. You let me know, and I'll be happy to coach you. Okay, my dears, have an amazing Friday, and talk to you next week. Bye.